Hey guys, Luxker here. Welcome to part 2 of my special Xeno News collab with Mad Duck the Derp on all the Xenoblade news shown in June's Direct. This time, we will be discussing Xenoblade Definitive Edition Switch 2 Edition in a lot of detail, as well as discuss what we can expect in Xenoblade 2 and 3 Switch 2 editions. But if you happen to like my videos like this one, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and help me reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2026. Don't forget to leave a comment as well telling me that I'm doing a great job on these videos, along with sharing this video around, and it helps improve my motivation as well. On that note, let's get to it! Alright, now let's go ahead and talk about the Xenoblade Switch 2 Edition things in particular. So, alongside the Xenoblade Genesis announcement is the announcement of the main Trilogy Switch 2 editions, which, I mean, I'll go ahead and talk about my thoughts on them later. Honestly, they are very cool to see that they're gonna get Switch 2 editions. Starting with Xenoblade 1 Definitive Edition. So, the game is marketed once again as being a 4K game in 60 FPS. However, like I said in my Xenoblade X Definitive Edition Switch 2 Edition video, it's not 4K. It's like, I want to say it's kind of around like 1440p, but like AI upscaled using an old school AI upscaler. Like you see, some of the detail textures in the background don't really look very 4K to me. John from Good Vibes Gaming made a pretty good video talking about like the visuals in particular, and highly recommend checking it out. It also like it's not like a perfect 60 FPS, but it mainly holds a good 60 FPS throughout the game. But it's very like it also dips in a lot of ways too. So right here is a good example of like some of the weird visual bugs that the game has. Okay, so right here, there's like this weird visual bug right here that in the Switch 2 edition of Xenoblade Definitive Edition that was not present in the original game. And it's like there's like the water visuals wrap around the characters, and it just looks very strange, and it's very noticeable even if it's not zoomed in. Like right here, for instance, you can see like the water like lighting just wraps around Dunban. It's just, I don't know, like, I already said this before in my previous video on Xenoblade X's Switch 2 edition, but I kind of wish that like Malisoft didn't go through the cheap route in updating the resolution and frame rate of this game, and actually like put an engine updated made it 4K and 60 frames per second. It's just a little bit disappointing in my end. So what do you think about this Ducky, about the visuals?
Admittedly, I'm kind of 50-50 because on one hand, I think the game looks great running at 60 FPS, even if it does mean it dips in some areas. And even if the game is not exactly in 4K, I do think that the enhanced resolution is quite a treat on the eyes most of the time. But I also can't really get behind the whole artifacts wrapping around the characters. And I know you didn't mention this, but even like the characters' faces being a bit blurred when they're like really far away from the screen.
Yeah, it's the same problem Xenoblade X's Switch 2 editions is. So,
but I will say though, I definitely do agree that the Switch 2 edition of Xenoblade 1 Definitive Edition does have its problems. But I do think it is a massive step up over Xenoblade X's Definitive Edition, purely for the fact that it doesn't have as many noticeable problems that Xenoblade X's Switch 2 Edition had. But even then, that's not really saying much.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be very disappointing, and I have a feeling it's going to be happening with the Xenoblade 2 and 3 special editions. I'm hoping I'm wrong here, and they actually fix the game so it's actually in 4K and running at a smooth 60 FPS. But it just sucks that it just, once again, Malisoft did the cheap way out here. And, like, man, I really want them to actually go back to Xenoblade X first and fix the visuals there, and instead of releasing these Switch 2 editions altogether, you know?
Yeah. And what's even more ironic about this is, granted, I know it's a result of it being a native Switch 2 game, but Xenoblade Genesis, so far anyway, looks like it's completely exempt from those problems. Again, I get that it's probably because of the fact that the game is actually natively on the Switch 2, unlike Xenoblade 1, 2, 3, and X, but
yeah,
still.
But this is not about Xenoblade Genesis. This is about Xenoblade Trilogy on Switch 2, which, I mean, yeah, the visuals and the frame rate thing, I mean, yeah, it's not as super great, but it is a substantial upgrade, mainly for a few things regarding Xenoblade Definitive Edition. One of them...
First things first, being the fucking car!
Well, we'll get to the cars later. But one of the biggest changes that, for a lot of fans in particular, is the voice heart-to-hearts. Every single heart-to-heart in Xenoblade 1 Definitive Edition is now voiced now, which is something fans were really disappointed with in the original version of Xenoblade Definitive Edition.
Yeah, and I can't really blame them for thinking that way, because I'm honestly kind of shocked that wasn't a change that they made in the original Switch 1 version of Definitive Edition, because you think that they would have, especially considering the fact that the heart-to-hearts were fully voice acted in Xenoblade 2, but yet they didn't.
Yeah, but... here, we got the original voice actors back to voice their conversations, and for the most part, the voices sound fine. Ryan, Fiora, Shulk, and Ricky, like, their voices are actually really good here. Like, they sound like themselves, especially Ryan. His voice is actually, like, the best out of all of them, because it's, like, the most convincing, because it actually reminds you of Ryan from back in the past. So...
I'm about to say, and what makes it even more ironic is that this is the first time that Jay Taylor's, either Ryan's English voice actor, has voiced him in almost 2 decades, and yet he slips back into the role, like he just voiced him yesterday, you know?
Exactly. It's just amazing how it feels like in tune with each other. Same thing with Fiora and Ricky. Like, they did their voices extremely well. Shulk, I mean, Adam Howden's voice has changed just a little bit, but I mean, I can forgive him for that. He still kind of sounds like Shulk in general. However, I do think some of the voices in particular, especially Charla's, I didn't really like very much. Like, their voice deliveries are, like, a lot really different compared to how they were back in 2010, so...
For me, I thought, for the most part, all the voice performances were pretty good, especially in Charlotte's case, because, I mean, I do agree that Kelly Bright does kind of... you can tell she was kind of having a little bit of trouble getting back into the role, but I still think that she did a pretty solid job for what she was given. And of course, I will say I do think that Jenna Coleman did a way better job of sounding a lot like a younger Melly on the heart-to-hearts here than she did in Future Connected at first. But there is one character I kind of do think kind of has a subpar performance in the voice heart-to-hearts, and that's Dunban. Because I don't know if Rufus Jones' heart wasn't in it, or if he was just given, like, poor voice direction, but you can kind of tell that he had a kind of tough time getting back into Dunban's character. Like, and I can tell just from his line deliveries and a lot of the voice heart-to-hearts. It kind of sucks because Rufus Jones' performance as Dunban was easily among my favorites since Xenoblade 1, yet it's kind of just disheartening to see him kind of phone it in here.
Yeah, I mean... So, I want to put into context here, Ducky is actually trained to be a professional voice actor, and, like, he's a really big fan of the voice actors in Xenoblade 1, and he's very used to the voices as well, so just hearing them again in, like, a new, like, era in particular, like, is kind of rough in general, and, like, Dunban's especially, from one of the heart-to-hearts I've seen, is, like, night and day in general, and it's just... I don't know, man.
Not to mention another problem I kind of have with Rufus Jones' performance as Dunban, the heart-to-hearts, is that it kind of sounds like at points that he's just mumbling at times. Like, why are his line delivery so quiet?
I have no clue, and it's just so disheartening.
And like I said, he's the only one I really have those problems with. Everyone else, I think, sounds pretty good, especially in the case of Issa J. Taylor as Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because Dunban is one of my favorite characters, and, like, it just really strange.
It kind of sucks that Rufus Jones kind of gave a kind of subpar performance with his voice heart-to-heart. And like I said, I know Kelly Bright has her issues too, but again, I don't really reprising her role as Charlotte, but I don't think it's nearly on the same level as Dunban's for me.
But, you know, it's something that fans requested since the original Definitive Edition, and we got that already here, so it's better than really nothing in particular, despite, like, Dunban's voice not being in it in general, so...
I mean, hey, from what I've seen, Charlotte and Dunban are really the only two characters people have problems with this. Everyone, Shulk, Fiora, or Ricky, Ryan, and Melly all sound great. So,
yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
5 out of 2 ain't bad, right?
And yeah, I honestly really like it in particular, but you know what's even freaking better that's really up your alley, Mad Duck?
Fucking cars!
Yes, we get ether jets here. And, it seems to be a really substantial addition, so...
Okay, but yeah, Ether Jets, because they just showed these off in the direct. But given what else was revealed about them, I'm wholly convinced that all of them up adding these in the game because of like the Xenoblade cart memes that were like popular back in 2024.
Yeah, I agree. It was really cool. I don't know if you tried this out yourself, Ducky. Have you tried it out?
I have not yet because I still have not gotten the I have still not gotten the Switch 2 edition of Xenoblade 1 yet. I want to try to get it soon though, but I currently just don't have the money for it right now.
So, a lot of people are kind of mixed on it. Well, in the positive direction, because it's kind of positively mixed, but like I've seen a few people not feel very good about the Ether Jets edition. I'll talk about the bad stuff first. Number one, it really breaks the immersion of the game, like with you walking along a giant world and stuff. And like, yeah, I agree to that, because a lot of visuals, like in Satoral Marsh, and then like in Valak Mountain, like if you're using an ether jet around them, you're not gonna really appreciate like the visuals like at night and stuff. You're just gonna be blazing through it. So
yeah, I definitely agree. I can't help but feel like that Monolith kind of added this with the intent of it like being a post-game thing in mind. But if that's the case, why not just make it only available for after you beat the main story?
yeah, and you actually get the ether bikes from a side quest that you would get after you meet Charlotte the first time. You get like a side quest that lets you get the ether jets, and you can just use them whenever. So,
though, to be fair, I feel like that if they did only like if they advertised them the ether jets in the direct only for gamers to find out that's only something you get after beating the main story, a lot of gamers probably would get pissed on this. They probably just made the decision to make it available early on. You know what I mean?
Like the ether jet is like something you can just use optionally. Like you don't need to use the ether jet like all the time to get from place to place. It's something that you can just do optionally if you want to experience the world. Just don't use the ether jet. That's not what most players are probably gonna do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just kind of like a delicate balance there. So. But a lot of people are really positive about this because of like how fast you can get from one place to another, because Xenoblade 1 has a lot of places that like doesn't have really good fast travel points. Like think of Agora Shore, think of like that one place in Satoral Marsh, like a lot of places in Satoral Marsh that you have to climb stuff on and climb stuff to get to specific quests, and there's only like a specific fast travel point, and it feels like it takes like 5 long minutes to get up to this one place. The ether jet is extremely useful for these because you can get to that place like very quickly from a fast travel point, just by literally pressing a button. And honestly, I honestly consider this a good change if you're only using this for side quests and not like for experiencing the story from getting from one to another. It actually makes the pacing of side quests feel much more substantial. So
yeah, and I can definitely also see that, especially considering how the Xenoblade 1 compared to the other games in the series anyway, doesn't really have the most interesting side quests, especially considering the fact that most of them are really just glorified fetch quests.
However, you're not immune from like enemies seeing you on the bike. Especially like enemies that shoot lasers at you from a distance. They can quickly get you, so you don't run away from them. So it's definitely something you don't want to use all the time. Just only like if you want to use it to get from one place to another and do these things much more quicker. So
yeah, so you can still get targeted by the territorial rock bar in these things. Keep that in mind, folks.
Next up is the Nopon Grand Prix that was added. I honestly love this edition wholeheartedly. It makes each individual world like feel like an actual like Mario Kart racetrack, which is something I imagined like back when I was really into Mario Kart and Xenoblade at the same time. And you remember how Mario Kart 8 was doing DLC, and like there was Zelda tracks, there was Animal Crossing tracks.
Then the Switch version had Splatoon tracks, albeit only in the battle mode.
I desperately thought about like what Gower Plains as a race course would look like. And here we literally get it. You can literally race against your party members on their ether jets right over here from Gower Plain, and you can like go through like checkpoints and stuff and break through crystals. It's such a good addition, and it just looks so fun too.
It really does, and they also add in like a time attack mode where you can where you try to collect crystals as quickly as you can.
Yeah, it's called Score Attack. Right here, where you can get like a whole bunch of crystals that you can use to get equipment, and as well as the new outfits, which I'll be going over very shortly. And like, the only downside to, like, the battle race is that it doesn't have online or local multiplayer. This would be really freaking cool.
I'm about to say, this would have been so fun to have a multiplayer for.
I know, this would have been so freaking cool to have, like, multiplayer mode in here that, like, you and a friend can just race around around Gower Plain together with. It just is such a cool addition, and, like, I get that, like, Malisoft, like, did this because, like, they thought about, like, hey, each individual area kind of looks like a race course. Let's have this cart thing going on, and it just looks really cool at the end of the day, so...
That, and like I said earlier, they probably also saw the Xenoblade cart memes that everyone was posting back in 2024 and decided to make that an actual mode.
Yep. So we got new outfits also in the Switch 2 edition, and oh my god, these are, like, each individual one are literally, like, some of their best outfits ever. Like, look at Ryan right here and his hair. It just looks like he's, like, some sort of, like... how do you put this? Like... It looks like he was onto a lot.
Car driver.
It looks like he was onto a lot of things, you know, like a lot of like stuff. He was taking a lot of stuff in particular when he had that, and yeah, he kind of does look like a race car driver in a way. So
I mean, they all look like race car drivers. I mean, that was the whole point. I've seen some people say that Dunban ties his hair back in a ponytail in his racer outfit. Kind of looks similar to the ponytail Ashira has in Xenoblade 3, which I mean. It could be mean something, because, I mean, some people have already theorized that Ashira could potentially be Dunban's daughter, so, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, a lot of characters have different hairstyles, like Charla is also in a ponytail, Fiora is, I don't know what is up with her hair, dude.
She's kind of got the silica hair going on.
Yeah, she does look like Celica here, she has, like, this kind of bob look to her hair, which... I honestly don't know how I feel about that, because a lot of Xenoblade characters have a bob-like hairstyle. But it looks cute.
Again, Celica, Pyra, am I missing anyone else? I don't think Miyabi counts because her hair is somewhat of a long bowl cut than it is a buck. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it looks cute for Fiora. Ricky's style is really funny. His hair is like, got this like, buckle or something that's around it.
Yeah, and of course the piece of resistance, Melia.
Yeah, I was saying the best for last, and Melia's outfit is easily one of the best ones out there.
Yeah, like she looks so cute here with the hoodie.
Like, people have been saying that she looks like a bunny, and I just find that really hilarious that like the wing coverings kind of look like bunny ears, and it just makes her look really cute at the end of the day with the hoodie. And it kind of makes her look like more of like a mage character, like a dark mage character, which, I mean, not a lot of Xenoblade characters kind of look like dark mages, and here,
yeah,
Melia has that style down to a T. There's also alternate colorations for these outfits as well. I'll show them on screen here. Melia's with the orange is like, holy shit, I didn't think that they would go there. Like, the purple already looks great, but orange? Like, man, that looks smooth, dude. Like, wow.
You know, weirdly, I never thought of orange on Melia, but then again, if she can work it in black like she can in Xenoblade 3, surely she can also work it in orange.
I agree wholeheartedly. So, okay, so Future Connected also gets the updates that I mentioned with the frame rate and resolution and the ether jets as well. I don't think there's a specific outfit for Kino and Nene. Unfortunately, I think it's just only in the main story that you can get outfits, but yeah.
Dang. Oh, and one thing I also kind of want to mention that I've seen some people say online. Apparently, the Switch 2 edition of Xenoblade 1 also added in amiibo support, but it's not really that good.
So the amiibo support, if you tap amiibo, like, I think it's like either Shulk, Pyra Mithra, and Noah and Mio, you get like specific equipment, and yeah, it's just not very great. Well, not equipment, but you can get like Collectopedia items and stuff, like, randomly.
And you also get some experience, and you also can only scan them 3 times per day.
Yeah, it's not my favorite contribution to amiibo in my eyes. Xenoblade 3's amiibo are a lot better because at least you get the new decals for swords, and the Noah and Mio amiibos give you the N and Emma outfits, so
as well as also the ability to wear the leisure time outfits for the main party outside of camps. But
yes,
the fact that the 3DS port of Xenoblade 1 had better amiibo support, Yeah, I don't know about that.
It just, yeah, I wish it was a lot better. Instead of just that, like, they could have brought back the model viewer and the music player in the game, but that's such a given right there.
They could have brought that back from Xenoblade 3D, even if it was developed by a different studio, because with the 3DS port of Xenoblade 1 being handled by Monster Games, who also handled the 3DS port of Donkey Kong Country Returns, but still.
Right, and I get it, but it's just such a missed opportunity, so...
It really is.
So some other details I want to talk about regarding Xenoblade 1's Definitive Edition is, one, the digital version has already released, and the physical version will be coming out July 30th for the physical version. Which is also the day that Xenoblade 2's
Switch 2 edition releases.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment, but some other note regarding the Switch 2 edition of Xenoblade DE. Speedruns are, like, way faster now because of faster loading times and, like, the EtherJet, basically, like, being an auto-win button and future connected. The speedrun for that game is, like, way faster now. And, like, man, I cannot wait to see speedruns for that game now because of how fast the game is. So, very cool stuff, just in general. But, again, I really wish the visuals and the frame rate were, like, a lot more consistent. And that way I will easily be sold on it. But honestly, like, for, like, the extra upgrade pack, which is $10, I say the additions are pretty much worth it for a replay of Xenoblade 1. Not so much jumping into it and getting the outfits, like, right then and there. But just for a replay, just maybe try out the EtherJet and see what you think about it. I'm definitely going to be doing that when I play Xenoblade 1 again.
When I do get around to do my replay of every Xenoblade game, and yes, that also includes X, I do want to try to play the Switch 2 editions, but in X's case, I kind of want to wait and see if Monolith ever releases the patch to fix a lot of that game's issues, considering the fact that that one has that one really needs an update, let's be real here. But
the Switch 2 editions of Xenoblade 1, 2, and 3 are all $70. And then the upgrade pack is an extra $10 for each version. If
anyone's curious for how I'm gonna be playing the Switch 2 editions of every Xenoblade game, including X, I'm just gonna be getting the upgrade packs because my thing with getting Switch 2 editions of Switch 1 games is that if it's the Switch 2 edition of a game I already own, I just want to get the upgrade pack because I don't really see a point in spending like $70 to $80 on a game I already own.
Yeah, I hope that when the physical versions release, the prices actually come down just a little bit, because I definitely do want to get these versions myself as, like, because I'm a collector, so...
Buddy,
I'm a collector, I'm sorry, I want the physical versions
of
these,
this is Nintendo. This is Nintendo, what, no, they never lower their prices on anything.
No,
Not anymore, at least.
I'm talking about in used game stores, if they have it at a lower price. Or on eBay, they will have it, so...
Or on eBay, yeah. I mean, eBay's your friend, kiddos. Not really, because I mean, you can get scammed there, but still.
The file sizes for the main trilogy also increased heavily. Like a lot actually. Like they at least like tripled the size of each game. Like Xenoblade 1 is as the lowest amount of new content, but Xenoblade 2 and 3 are like over 40 gigabytes, and that's a lot for like this Switch 2 for anybody that's getting it. So,
and what makes it even more ironic is that I don't think Xenoblade X really had the same file increase, did it? Because it still remained like roughly the same size as the Switch 1 version.
The file size doubled, so.
Oh well, silly me. I wasn't paying attention to that.
Yeah, I hear it more so like tripled the size of the games themselves just for it being on the Switch 2. So.
Well, that's even more ironic in X's case, considering the fact that unlike the main trilogy, X's Switch 2 edition is really just a resolution and frame rate boost, and a really poor one at that.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Xenoblade 2 Switch 2 edition and see if the updates are actually like real. So.
Yeah, because I think Xenoblade 2 is actually the one I'm the most excited about, because out of all, even though I do want to try to replay every single Xenoblade game, Xenoblade 2 is actually the one I want to replay the most. Especially considering the fact that, it was the game that got me into the series, so I understand it has its issues, obviously, but it's still a game I really love.
Alright, so, Xenoblade 2's main new addition right here is, you have, like, your blades, you being in control of your blades and Merc missions. Basically, you can take control of their specials and stuff here, and like, you see like there's like this party bar right here. You can just choose the characters right here, and I think everybody has like a shared HP value as well. And they can like take out enemies right here, and that's kind of like what the Merc missions are right here. Just if you want to play them, that's what they look like, and you can.
I was just gonna say, like, is this like an additional side mode like in the Merc missions themselves, or are they like completely changing how Merc missions work in favor of this? I mean, hey, it make the Merc missions kind of somewhat more intriguing if that's the case.
This is more so like if you want to play the Merc missions as like a separate
Got
mode
you.
that you want to do, so you don't have to wait for the that timer. You can literally play them yourself, and like you can just beat them that way in that specific time frame. Like if
I
you want
got
to get
you.
them done quicker, so you can play this mode.
You know, it kind of makes me wonder if doing this is gonna make Ursula's Blade quest a lot faster.
I'm pretty sure it will be, because like at least it's more engaging instead of having to wait for the a specific timer to go out. So
And, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if Ursula's Blade quest is also the main reason why they added this.
yep. So Xenoblade 2 Switch 2 edition, the new additions is gonna have is that it's gonna come with a new rare blade and a blade quest in it. We don't know what this rare blade is quite yet, but we can speculate on it though. So
Yes, but them saying new rare blade, that could really mean anything.
yeah, it can mean a lot of stuff. In particular, like, are we gonna get?
It could potentially be a character that's already in Xenoblade 2 itself, because I know a lot of people really want Malice as a blade, and it could I mean, I can see it. I can see it. At the same time, though, it could potentially just be a completely new blade that has no relation to anyone, but we won't know until over another month.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see us, because I'm actually not gonna be replaying Xenoblade 2 for this. I'm actually gonna just see what this new rare blade is and play its quest, because that part in and of itself is a lot more intriguing to me than like replaying the game over again to experience like the new visuals and stuff, and you being controlling blades and Merc missions. So
Now, my question is this going to be how is this blade going to be obtained? Is it going to be like a blade that you get from a specific NPC, or are we going to have to go through the gacha hell again?
I have no clue. Hopefully we don't go through the gacha hell. So
Okay, I gotta say this right now. One tiny hope I do have for the Switch 2 edition of Xenoblade 2 is that they do make it easier to get rare blades in that game. Because if you're like me and you've gotten every single rare blade, you know how much of a pain in the ass that is.
yeah. And then the next new thing that they're adding in the Switch 2 edition is new equipment designs for Pyra and Mithra. I am very much hoping that these are their beta designs, like beta Pyra and beta Mithra, instead of completely new ones, because like the designs are already there in concept. We should be able to play as like as a different outfit in the game itself, and not a completely new one. So
Yeah. Which a lot of people are speculating in that, and I can definitely see it because I mean it would be nice to see their beta designs fully realized in 3D models. Some people are also speculating that it could potentially be their outfits that we see them wearing in the certain thing that I will not mention because it's kind of a big spoiler, but I don't know if that's really gonna be likely, because I mean, when they also say that for other characters for the rest of the main party, if that were the case.
yeah, exactly. And like it would be cool to have Pyra and Mithra be in those designs, but let's be real here. We want beta Pyra and beta Mithra. Those are like the best designs you can bring back for new equipment. So
Yeah. Alternatively, for Pyra's case, it could also just be her Smash outfit, but that'd probably be the lamest option if I'm being honest.
okay, so this upgrade pack is coming out in July, July 30th at the end of the month. The physical version comes out October 1st. So yeah, one day after my birthday, the physical version comes out. So yeah, hey, that's a birthday present for me.
And that's 25 days before my birthday. And it's a little over 2 months before Xenoblade 2's 9th anniversary. God, it's hard to believe that game's gonna be 9 years old this year. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so Xenoblade 3's new mode is honestly kind of interesting. I don't know if this is like a new mode that you can do in the Land of Challenge, but it seems to me that like this mode here is basically like a challenge mode that you can just use to go fight a gauntlet of enemies, similar to that one roguelike mode, but this time you're using 3 characters all at once with a specific power gauge here and health bars. So
and it looks like you can choose which characters you want to use, be it both main party members and heroes. Because I see that Noah, Shira, and Lance are actually the 3 party members here in this horde mode. For like the footage that we see in the announcement, anyway.
Yeah, it is more like kind of like a horde mode right here, and you can basically choose who to upgrade, similar to how how in the roguelike mode there's like upgrades and stuff that you can do. Here you can upgrade the each character's powers on top of that. So yeah, this is what this main new mode in Xenoblade 3 Switch 2 edition is. It's this horde mode that you can do. It looks pretty fun. I don't know how much I'm going to be spending much time with. I didn't really spend much time on the roguelike mode because it's just way too hard, and like getting up to the higher levels is like extremely difficult if you're not very prepared on it. So, but the main changes to Xenoblade 3 is of course the new horde mode. And then we get a new hero and hero quest mode, which I'm suspecting this is when we'll be getting our Mithra Kid. Am I right?
I'm about to say, because a lot of people are speculating that the new hero can potentially give us a hint as to who Rex and Mithra's kid is, which really hoping that's the case, because I mean they're the only one of Rex's children with his 3 wives we don't know the identity of, because we know 2 of them. One of them's heavily hinted, the other is pretty much all it's stated, but don't know who Mithra Kid is. So come on, Monolith, please.
I'm very much expecting this because, like,
this
has been a huge mystery, and I don't think it will be solved in Xenoblade Genesis. I think it will be actually solved through this hero quest here, and like...
I hope so, because please also let Saito be the designer of it, because it would kind of be stupid if he wasn't.
I'm really hoping that that Malisoft will pull through and just solve the mystery of that story in particular, and, speaking of other story stuff, there's newly voiced event scenes, which could mean just regular cutscenes. I have no idea what this even is. I'm wondering if it's just you added, like, context between, like, what I'm hoping that it is that, like, newly added context on a specific sides of characters. For instance, in the beginning, what was it like on Mio's side when trying to get that Ouroboros stone? You know, remember that beginning scene where, like, Kevis, also, like, Noah, Lance, and Uni were also getting the Ouroboros stone? What was it like on Mio's end at the same time?
Alternatively, but I don't know if I should really talk about that heavily because of, like, spoilers, but, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna say it anyway, so, heavy spoilers for Xenoblade 3, by the way, but, you remember how there was some concept art in the art book that showed potentially what Mio could have looked like in All Rest before it and Bionis intersected?
Yes, what about that?
It could potentially be cutscenes showing what Mio's perception of the intersection was like in All Rest. Maybe, that's my guess.
Yeah, I would say that would be a good possibility here.
Or maybe, like, kind of have the ending expanded upon by having, like, Noah and Mio actually meet. I don't know. I mean, like I said, newly voiced event scenes is kind of vague, if I'm being honest, but we could, who knows?
Yeah, literally, I don't know what these are. It can literally be anything. I mean, beyond our wildest dreams of what they would be. And, like, I don't know, it might change a whole lot of stuff at the end of the day, regarding context of characters and stuff, so I'm very much expecting, like, specific things to be answered that were lingering to us originally. But the Switch 2 version of Xenoblade 3 is coming out December 3rd, both physical and the digital version, so that's probably what's kind of taking this so long, is, like, trying to add that added context between the scenes as well as with the new hero and stuff, which I'm very much expecting to see get an answer to, so... And then my final thing that I want to talk about regarding all this news is that Torna's standalone version gets a free Switch 2 update. So it's not a paid update this time, it's a free update. Just bumping the resolution and the frame rate, and you know what? For Torna standalone users, I can't complain. It's very good.
Torna's a really great expansion. Although, speaking of that kind of makes me a bit worried regarding the DLC, because given the fact that the Switch 2 editions of Breath of the Wild doesn't already come with the DLC, that kind of makes me think that the same thing will also be the case for Switch 2 editions of 2 and 3 if you get them physically.
You still would need to buy the DLC if you own Xenoblade 2. you would still need to buy the DLC to own Torna, but the standalone version of Torna will get a Switch 2 version, which is free.
Okay.
So
well,
it's
a Switch 2 update, but
yeah, which is good, because like all the other Xenoblade versions are paid versions, whereas Torna's is just free, which I like a lot. I'm liking a lot, even if they have the visuals and the frame rate, like, well, not the frame rate, like not quite 60 FPS. I still think it's worth updating the Switch 2 version if you have Torna's standalone. So, but yeah, that is a lot of news regarding Xenoblade Trilogy Switch 2 editions. Am I missing anything, Ducky? Am I all good here?
I think we covered everything, and I even did the corny "Will Xenoblade Genesis be called Xenoblade Mega Drive in Europe" joke, so I think we got everything.
All right, that should be it for everything, and I'm honestly like blown away by how much Xenoblade we're getting at the end of the year, because like I was honestly thinking we're just gonna be getting Xenoblade 2 Switch 2 edition, and then for next year we're gonna be seeing Xenoblade Genesis. So I'm honestly like blown away with all this news. I was like, I'm still reeling from Nintendo talking about it, because this is a lot of information to take in, man, all at once.
It really is. Like Nintendo and Monolith was like, here, Switch 2 editions of the entire main trilogy and the next mainline entry coming next year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know if I'm gonna have enough time to play it all three of these games before Xenoblade Genesis comes out. I'm not one of those fans that literally plays them, but I'm definitely gonna be replaying them on Switch 2, because I might as well do that, because I definitely want that nice, I mean, not quite 4K footage, but just like the nice 60 FPS for the game, and just to record it. So
yeah, and I will say, even for all of its issues, I probably get patched. It's also nice to see Xenoblade X also running at 60 FPS. So I kind of do want to try to also get the Switch 2 edition for that game whenever I inevitably replay every single Xenoblade game, even if I do agree that's not great, but still, just that 60 FPS makes it worth it.
But that should be it for literally everything regarding the Xenoblade news from that Nintendo Direct. So, Mad Duck the Derp, where can we find you at?
You guys can find me on YouTube, even though I haven't done jack all of my YouTube in 4 years, but I do want to try to start changing that soon. But you can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Blue Sky, even though the latter I don't really use all that much, but I want to try to start fixing that soon. And I also got Discord as well.
All right. With that, thanks everyone for watching until the end. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment, and share this video around, and don't forget to follow Mad Duck the Derp as well on his content. And until next time, see you on the other side!